Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And it really wasn't a bad day out there today. We did see a mixture of clouds and sun, a few lingering showers around parts of north central Washington this morning. But for the most part, light winds and temperatures mild in the lower to middle 60s. And we have more summer-like weather headed our way. Let's take a look now at an extended forecast for our next week. And that's September 25th through October 1st. And yeah, back to the same weather that we had all summer, drier than normal, and it will be warmer than normal as well for the entire period of next week. We'll talk more about that in length in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A vehicle fire slows traffic on Blewett Pass yesterday, and more tips on how to prepare your yard for winter. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, a Wenatchee woman was injured yesterday afternoon after she was struck by a vehicle in a parking lot off North Wenatchee Avenue. Sergeant Nathan Hahn with the Wenatchee Police Department says 75-year-old Juanita Hampton was attempting to walk across the Circle K store parking lot. It was around 1 p.m. when she was accidentally hit by a driver who was exiting the parking lot onto the street. Sergeant Hahn identifies the driver as 40-year-old Samuel Reeves of Chelan. The woman was transported to Central Washington Hospital with what police described as a minor head injury. No word yet on the cause of a garage fire this morning in Wenatchee. Chelan County Fire District 1 responded to the fire just before 8 o'clock at 401 Pearl Street. Fire officials say the fire started in the garage and smoke filled the house, but fortunately it had not yet ignited anything inside the residence. A woman was the one in the home at the time, only woman in the home at the time of the fire, and she had already evacuated the residence by the time firefighters arrived on the scene. The woman was taken to Central Washington Hospital as a precaution, and a resident cat was taken to a local veterinarian for treatment. A vehicle fire on Blewett Pass late yesterday afternoon slowed traffic for several hours. Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Moore shared these pictures of the semi-tractor trailer that caught fire, sending a huge plume of black smoke into the air. The State Patrol did not issue a report, so details of the cause are not available. Last night at Rocky Reach Dam, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services hosted a naturalization ceremony. Led by Norma Gallegos and Keith Brown, North Central Washington's Immigration Services have now hosted over 50 naturalization ceremonies in the past 7 years.
And that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation, or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Congratulations, you're now citizens of the United States.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Well, my fellow Americans, you've come to the golden door. What you do once you pass that door is up to you. However, once again, I challenge you. I challenge you to get out there and improve your communities, your families, your work, your schools. Set that goal and accomplish that goal. Innovate and continue to make a positive difference.
Coming up, Our Valley, Our Future releases their housing survey. A state senator announces his run for Dave Reichert's congressional seat. The Master Gardeners host their final class tonight, and Bath & Body Works opens at Wenatchee Valley Mall. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza. Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and Local Public House, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Welcome back. Housing in the Wenatchee Valley is scarce and it's costly. At last night's Wenatchee City Council meeting, council members heard a brief report on an area housing survey conducted by the local advocacy group Our Valley, Our Future. Our Valley received over 1,700 responses to its 35-question housing survey. In the survey, 46% of respondents say they are spending over 30% of their income on housing, with 23% spending more than 40% of their household income on either rent or mortgage. Also in the survey, 45% of respondents say they would be willing to help finance new roads and utilities so more land could be opened up for housing, while 23% of those surveyed said they would not. Among renters in the survey, 46% said they are paying more than they can afford, and added that the biggest housing challenge in the Wenatchee Valley is an inadequate supply of quality, reasonably priced homes and apartments. Republican State Senator Dino Rossi has announced he'll run for Congress in the 8th District to replace Dave Reichert, who is retiring. Rossi made the announcement during the Washington State Republican Party's annual dinner Thursday. Rossi, who was a state senator from 1997 through 2002, was appointed last year to fill a state Senate vacancy left by Senator Andy Hill when he died of lung cancer. The 8th District includes the eastern portion of King and Pierce counties, Chelan, and a part of Douglas County. 6 Democrats have also announced plans to file for the seat. They are Issaquah Council member Tola Martz, pediatrician Kim Schreier, former King County Deputy Prosecutor Jason Ritterizer, Amazon software developer Toby Whitney, and business owner Mona Das. Tonight at 6:30, area residents are invited to the Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners' 4th and final class in their 4-part gardening series. Master Gardener Bonnie Orr tells us more about tonight's event.
At 6:30 to 7:30 at the Community Education Garden at Springwater and Western is the last of our series, Start the Season Right. And we've done the equinoxes and the solstice. So we're going to talk about putting our gardens to bed, how to overwinter vegetables in the garden itself, how to save seeds, how to take care of the lawn, all those things that you need to do.
If you do it right, come April, you're going to be ahead of the game, aren't you?
You will.
That's the whole idea.
That's the whole idea. So 6:30 to 7:30, it's free.
Okay.
And wear a jacket because it might be cool, but we'll have fun.
On last night's NCW Life News, Orr talked about how to prepare your grass and lawn for winter. Tonight she tells us how to put your vegetable gardens to bed for the season.
The night before the first frost, you're going to pick your green tomatoes. And you can put them in I use an apple box with those purple fiber dividers, and I put a green tomato in each one, and then I ripen them many times till Valentine's Day. You can just lift up each tray and see how they're ripe. Okay, that's a wonderful way for Christmas or Thanksgiving to store the tomatoes. If you had diseases on your plants, in your garden, you need to put those leaves and plants into the green can. No, don't compost them.
Because the disease will go right back into it.
And
Yeah.
if you had problems with squash bugs and if you had problems with stink bugs, what you want to do is take up everything from the garden, you know, all of the leaf litter and everything, and you want to stir up the soil. Don't rototill. Just, you know, rake really, really hard, because any eggs that are there or overwintering adults that are just slightly under the soil will be prey for birds.
Once again, the final Master Gardeners class for the season is tonight at 6:30 at the Community Education Garden located at 1100 Northwestern Avenue, and that's in Wenatchee. Wenatchee Valley Mall welcomed its newest retail tenant today with the ribbon cutting ceremony. The new Bath & Body Works store opens with the addition of White Barn Candle Company in a store within a store concept design. The official grand opening was scheduled for 5 p.m. today with drawings for mall and store gift cards. Next month, another new tenant takes up residence in the mall with the ribbon cutting ceremony for Victoria's Secret, and that is slated for October 6th. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out? We should go to Club Crow.
The Bar and Grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy finally Friday on the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from last night. We had a huge upset. It was Eastmont on the road, handing West Valley its first Columbia Basin Big Nine league loss in 3 years with a 4-2 victory, scoring goals for the Wildcats: Cheyenne Chang, Ellie Goulet, Maddie Chandler, and Maria Mendoza. Also last night, Kashmir blanked Omak 10-0. Cascade over Okanagan 4-0. Brewster beat Manson 4-0, and Wenatchee all over Sunnyside 8-0. Turning our attention to volleyball on the court last night, Wenatchee shut down Sunnyside 3-0. Omak over Kashmir 3-2. Cascade took care of Okanagan 3-0. And it was Eastmont, well, very scrappy against league powerhouse West Valley, but couldn't find an answer for the 6'5" junior Shea Rubright. I had to call along with Cleet Wise here on the NCW Life channel.
Here's Rubright again. This time she had the angle, and not much you can do with that right there.
I guess you could put somebody on the ladder at practice and just have them him straight down. There's not much you
Exactly.
can do about that one.
Delandra Mendez on the service here for Eastmont. Boy, that's a tough
Nice
serve.
serve.
Back to the back line, just bringing it across is Rubright. Eastmont with the set at the net. Nice return. Britt Vaughn had that kill attempt. This one is deep, but there's Sackman. What a volley
Nice
back and
up.
forth here. Here's Rubright again with the stuff at the net. Eastmont with a point. Britt Vaughn there on the front line. Well, and here comes service by Burns for the game. And that will be the game. In that game against Wenatchee. What a serve again for Eastmont. Now the block. And we were talking during the commercial break. Where did Shea Rubright go? Hello.
Yeah.
Voschel on the service.
Nice serve.
In. Remsburg. Back line. And just kind of a miss hit. on the back line for Eastmont gives the easy, almost set, if you will, for West Valley. So here comes the service by Remsburg, up 11-7 for West Valley. It goes over. Burns to Remsburg, back to Burns. Nice job by Eastmont to return it. Now a little dink over by Voschel. A little touch by Jones.
nice pancake.
And they got it! Across! And in! On Remsburg. Teskey, ball down. They get it over. Eastmont now it goes to the back line. Nice idea there. Remsburg back service. Teskey, point! And a game and the match. 25-21.
That'll be broadcast next Saturday here on the NCW Life Channel. On the prep football schedule for tonight, Moses Lake at Eastmont at 7 o'clock live here on the NCW Life Channel. I'll be along Grant Olson for that one. Sunnyside, meanwhile, at Wenatchee. We'll have that on tape delay. Cascades at Sultan. Chelan's hosting Granger. Etihad at Sunnyside Christian. Tedasket is at Waterville Mansfield at 7 o'clock. Bridgeport, meanwhile, is in Manson. Coming up on Saturday, Graham at Cashmere. Also on Saturday, we have more of our prep soccer schedule. Cascades at Eastmont. That's a 1 o'clock game. In volleyball, Bridgeport's on the road at Waterville Mansfield for a 1 o'clock afternoon game, while Wenatchee's at Central Valley at 2:30. Wenatchee hosting several teams at Walla Walla Point Park and cross country. That starts at 11 o'clock. Boys swimming and diving, Wenatchee and Eastmont are at the King County Aquatic Center for the Mukilteo Invite. That starts at 9 o'clock. Speaking of Saturday, season finale at WVSO tomorrow night with the Northwest Super Late Model Series and much more happening this weekend at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. That's a look at sports news. Don't forget a lot of college football. We've got the Seahawks on Sunday. We'll have a complete wrap-up Monday right here on the NCW Life Channel. That's sports news. Have a great weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. In his continuing series called My Favorite Places, former Washington State Secretary of State Ralph Monroe tonight chronicles the building of what some consider to be the eighth wonder of the world, the Grand Coulee Dam.
Well, the world has 7 wonders that the travelers always tell. Some gardens and some towers, I guess you know them well.
People just don't realize what our state was like before Grand Coulee Dam. Maybe Woody Guthrie said it best.
But now the greatest wonder is in Uncle Sam's fair land. It's that King Columbia River and the big Grand Coulee Dam.
There was a fight for many, many years between private power and public power. Private power wanted a dam at Spokane Falls, and public power, and especially the Woods family that owned the Wenatchee World, had this dream about a dam on the coulee. Clarence Dill, who was a famous congressman and senator at the time, stepped forward, and he's often called the founder of Grand Coulee Dam, but lots of people worked on it. And when the Roosevelt administration came along, everything changed. Roosevelt knew he had to create jobs. The jobs were out there if we could just put the projects together. And the Grand Coulee became reality. When people talk about the Grand Coulee Dam, they often say it's the eighth wonder of the world, and they have a right to say that in many ways. It was the biggest continuous pour of concrete ever, anywhere in the globe. Thousands of workmen, and the job it was to capture this river, and the size and the volume, and where they had to divert the water. The numbers there are just almost unbelievable, but they took it on and they did it. Thousands and thousands of workers were called. 2 of my cousins worked on the dam. They worked 40-hour weeks. They made 50 cents an hour, so they came home with a $20 paycheck. But from that $20, they deducted $10.15 for board and room, and then they deducted more for insurance, a little more. After a week's work, they ended up with about $8.40. It was tough work, and they didn't make much money. But boy, what they built for our state has a lasting legacy. And of course, there's a negative side too. They killed the Columbia River salmon runs that go upstream from the dam. And the Native Americans above the dam didn't get power for years and years and years, but Nevertheless, our state has prospered time and time again from the Grand Coulee Dam. It truly is one of my favorite places.
Support for My Favorite Places is provided by the Washington Hospitality Association and by Weatherly Inn, senior living where it's home and your family.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Off North Wenatchee Avenue. Sergeant Nathan Hahn with the Wenatchee Police Department says 75-year-old Juanita Hampton was attempting to walk across the Circle K store parking lot around 1 p.m. when she was accidentally hit by a driver who was exiting the parking lot onto the street. Sergeant Hahn identified the driver as 40-year-old Samuel Reeves of Chelan. The woman was transported to Central Washington Hospital with what police described as a minor head injury. No word yet on the cause of a garage fire this morning in Wenatchee. Chelan County Fire District 1 responded to the fire just before 8 o'clock at 401 Pearl Street. Fire officials say the fire started in the garage and smoke filled the house, but fortunately it had not yet ignited anything inside the residence. A woman was the only one in the home at the time of the fire, and she had already evacuated the residence by the time firefighters arrived on the scene. The woman was taken to Central Washington Hospital as a precaution, and a resident cat was taken to a local veterinarian for treatment. A vehicle fire on Blewett Pass late yesterday afternoon slowed traffic for several hours. Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Moore shared these pictures of the semi-tractor trailer that caught fire, sending a huge plume of black smoke into the air. The State Patrol did not issue a report, so details of the cause are not available. Republican State Senator Dino Rossi has announced he'll run for Congress in the 8th District to replace Dave Reichert, who is retiring. Rossi made the announcement during the Washington State Republican Party annual dinner on Thursday. Rossi, who was a state senator from 1997 through 2003, was appointed last year to fill a state Senate vacancy left by Senator Andy Hill when he died of lung cancer. The 8th District includes the eastern portion of King and Pierce counties, Chelan, and part of Douglas County. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we get to that, once again, let's take a peek outside our weather window. And it was a nice one out there today. A little bit cool still for this time of year, a mixture of clouds and sun, but light winds. And it was just a nice day to be outside, maybe a light jacket out there. But I'll tell you what, as we take a look at our forecast later on, you won't need a jacket next week. But tonight through Saturday night, we will see the Pacific Ridge of high pressure begin to build. You can see it off the coast right now, the eastern Pacific. The ridge isn't very big right now, and it's not well amplified, so it will allow some mid to high level clouds to move through. And then by Sunday and into Monday, that upper level ridge will begin to build rapidly, which will decrease cloud cover by Monday night and then begin to warm us up. Each day from now until Thursday, we will see successive warming and light winds. And by the end of the next week, we should see temperatures in the mid 70s to even lower 80s, which is about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal. We could also see some of our area fires perk up next week, but with cool and relatively humid overnights, not much fire spread is expected. Here's a look at your forecast now. Tonight, it will be night. A lot of football games going on tonight. We'll drop down to 47 for our overnight low. Should be a nice start to our weekend. Saturday, sunny and 71, 72 with a few clouds on Sunday. And then next week, there's that warming trend all the way to 78 in sunshine on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll see another sunny day with a high temperature near 80, topping off at 79. Low temperatures next week, very mild as well, into the middle 50s. Our kicker video today comes from Colorado, but could have easily happened here in the Colocum. Chris Brandt and his buddy Clay Hill of Hill Guides and Outfitters were archery hunting for elk when they had a close encounter. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
I gotta tell you, I'm nervous. Selling your home, it's a big step.
Can we find the right buyer in this market?
Look at our website. When someone looks at your home, I can tell how ready they are to buy. See that number? The closer it is to 100, the closer they are to buying. So, I know who to zero in on.
So you have a secret weapon.
You mean we have a secret weapon.
I like that. Oh, what do you think of the wallpaper?
I love that touch.
Wenatchee Valley College is now offering 4-year degrees. The need for engineering technologists is rapidly growing, and the new Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology is designed to meet the needs of local employers. Students with an associate degree can complete the program in only 2 or 3 years. Don't wait! The program is accepting just 20 students for fall quarter. Apply now at wvc.edu/engineeringtech.
Ryder who had the reception, and now he collects the touchdown. Got on goal, Wenatchee scores. Riggin lines up a three. Yes! Oh my goodness! West fighting on the bottom. He got the pin. Swung on and hit hard to left field. Caught out there in left field. The shot is over. And Wenatchee Valley wins it. On the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.